Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
assholeconsulting.com. We gotta do this quick. Because this is a 34-minute video and this guy paid. Hi, Aaron. I'm a student from Romania. I saw a video about college done by a Marxist reacting to Prager, you saying that useless degrees are not useless. I'm going to simplify the whole thing. I know you're going to make me... This is why I had to charge you so much. I'm going to have to listen to a Marxist, which is somebody who just is not tethered to reality. I'm sorry to stereotype and be so dismissive, but I have to listen to 34 minutes of I'm entitled to other people's shit. Because reasons. Because of flowery theory, but inevitably when it boils down to is I'm lazy, I deserve other people's money. I'm born, I made it past the abortion line, my mom didn't abort me, gimme free, gimme that's. That's what this is all gonna be. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to exercise stoicism and self-control. It is 34 minutes long, buddy. I know you want me to, maybe you can share your thoughts on it. Please let me know the price and maybe methods to lower it because dollars are quite expensive. No! Tickety-tock, and I'm older than you. You're a student. I'm practically dead. So let's get to it here. Let's go all the way. Is this it?
Don't believe that it is.
No, we gotta go all the way. I don't know why you sent me a video where it links right to the middle of the video. I'm trying to get to the beginning. Alright, this is from a guy called Vaush. And he's talking about Dennis Prager, which I think most of you know, but let's go through it.
Walking around. Prager? Poo. Bet you guys haven't heard that one before, have you? Prager poo? Yeah, I woke up pretty early to think of that one. It's pretty high quality.
Alright, before we... Man bun, millennial beard, Rachel Maddow glasses, conformist, okay. Yes, I'm going to stereotype.
Whatever the case may be, I've actually held off on doing this video because I find the subject, super boring. Normally when PragerU makes a video, it's 100% wrong. Like 100, and I can go over it, every single point is factually wrong.
Says the guy, not that I live in the finest of estates, but Dennis is 60-odd-year-old man. He's very experienced, quite successful too, and the kid who's got a quarter of his life experience is, oh yeah, Prager's not wrong. If any of you have listened to him, he's very, and you might disagree with him, but his logic is usually sound. He's usually well-researched. We'll just keep going.
You can go and fact check them, or maybe the points they're making aren't factual, but they're just incredibly misleading, blah, blah, blah. But this is a video shitting on college, and, well, I also have problems with college.
Okay.
Not with the concept, of course, I'm educated myself. I'm glad I was educated.
In what?
Don't know if it was worth the debt, but...
Well, is that kind of an issue? The price? Hey, Dennis doesn't know anything. I majored in this. Wasn't worth the debt, maybe, but I majored.
But I have a problem with the institutions. And PragerU, I assume, I haven't watched the video, is going to express problems with the institutions as well, and that leads to nuance. And it's difficult to respond to a video series as holistically stupid as PragerU with nuance, but I'm going to try my best, okay?
What? What's nuance? See, this is what... How about data and facts? See, I immediately want to go to the end of this. What is starting salaries? That's this whole mechanic of the world, or at least your country, saying, here what we as a people, through our own free will, through the willing exchange of dollars, which is our time, how much do we value a poetry major versus a software engineer? A heart surgeon versus a teacher? And supply and demand, well, you see, in the holistic, it's like, dude, just stop obscuring it. Why is it? I know it's gonna be a long 34-minute video.
Okay. I'm going to do it for you guys.
Oh, good. He's going to do it for us.
Before I go into it, though, I guess I'll just share my college experiences. I went for 2 years.
I can't wait. I'm going to guess not mechanical engineering.
To a community college.
Smart.
And then during that time and a little bit afterwards, I worked to save up money.
Good. This is good so far.
So I would be able to afford to finish the rest of my 2 years in university without having to work during that time. Working and doing school at the same time is grueling and nightmarish. I don't recommend it for anyone, though it is unfortunately a necessary reality for many. And there are a lot of problems with school in this country, with higher.
I'm going to wonder, you mean like taking half your classes that have to do with Marxist bullshit? Maybe? I'm going to wonder, here's just a question. The people who took his money are socialists. Is he going to realize that? Yet he was going to want capitalists and hardworking people, the taxpayers to bail. Oh, the rich people, whatever, the people. I just wonder, like, do you realize who's fucking you over? I don't know. We'll see what his experience is.
University. For example, we treat university as jobs training, which it fails miserably at.
True.
We assign it that responsibility, and then we fail to, hold ourselves to it. If university is meant to be job training, I think that's a little bit bleak to begin with, but even then, it's really not. I can't tell you how many people I've met, even in the technical fields, who have told me that while they did learn some basics in university, by far most of what they learned came from on-job training.
Yeah, agreed.
And this can be even more the case for people like me. I studied sociology.
Job training! He goes into it to the client. Do you see where... I don't care how esoteric and intelligent sounding and Rachel Maddow glasses and all that. When he operates from false premises, college is jobs training. I took a logical approach. I went to 2 years community college, majoring in sociology. And Prager is the fool. Prager is the moron. And then sadly, yes, I don't really like the idea of going after the person personally, but what they're advocating came from some decisions and premises and assumptions in their lives, and then you have to say, well, look at the logic. Look at it's flawed. They don't know what they're talking about. I mean, so he's logic, and major in sociology. Shut up! Shut up! You had no intention of finding a real job. None. And on one hand, he says, well, it's like job training. Oh, but I'm going to treat it like a consumption luxury good where I can pontificate about touchy-feely bullshit of a science that isn't a science. It's not real. Remember how I was going to take it easy?
Everything that I learned in school, I could have learned online, yes. Hypothetically.
Library, okay.
University isn't valuable so much for the actual information it gives you in an internet era. It's more important for the resources it gives you, the connections it gives you, the environment it places you in, which gives you an opportunity to maximize your ability to make the use of the resources provided there.
Only if you went to the Ivy League. That's the only place, is if you went to the Ivy League.
That's what college is good for.
Not even that. No. A very small percentages of colleges. He's just wrong. Look, I don't know. I'm not going to... This and this and this and this. No, he's wrong. He went to community college. Nothing wrong with that. Smart move. And then he went to whatever, college for a sociology degree. Unless it was Harvard, there is no network.
So, like, fucking around and getting drunk. Like, you can have a lot of fun. You really can. But there are a lot of problems. University costs have skyrocketed. University isn't getting better. Why are university costs skyrocketing?
Because you keep voting to say that we need more money. Let's go through some basic economics. Let's see if he knows. I don't know. When you say we need to help the children's, and we need more government money, and more student loans, and more financial aid, you flood the market with, now it's, gosh, I had to pull the data, $600 billion a year. Well, that was 2017. So now it's even more. I wonder if we looked at the number of scholarships and government money that went in, I wonder if that would parallel tuition costs.
It's certainly not to pay the teachers. Teachers get paid jack shit.
Yeah, did you notice the big expensive buildings and the admin and the diversity hires and the assistant reserve diversity person and the diversity this and the diversity that? Go look at the budget. It's there. Public universities.
Now, the actual technicalities behind why university is getting more expensive but less accessible,
I'm curious,
and less, I guess, productive. There's complicated. There's a variety of institutional academic costs behind the scenes. It's, hey, listen, I'll spoil it for you, okay? You know, a little bit of a spoiler right off the bat. Okay?
Very curious.
It's capitalism. This capitalism is involved.
He's wrong. To my Romanian friend, the government has now taken over the student loan market. Banks are not in that anymore. Right? That was 2008, 2009. It's been a while. I'd have to double check my data. The government is getting involved with loans and scholarships. This is arguing that the bank bailout was capitalism. No, it's government. The government, a capitalist market, a capitalist economy, would not bail out the banks. We wouldn't bail out people. The government getting involved in a market, that's socialism. That is a government action. There should be no bailouts. There should be no government intervention. I'm not going to argue should have land. But see how simply just bladed that. Whose explanation do you want to believe? Me. Well, we printed off a shit ton of money, some of which went to student loans, and that flooded the market, and that's why tuition is going up. Including scholarships, parents taking out loans, everyone borrowing, all that money flooding one particular market. You know, like, hey, we're gonna flood the Smarties. You know that candy, Smarties? We're gonna flood the Smarties money market with $700 billion a year. You think the price of Smarties is gonna go up? Probably will. But his ain't capitalism. Just this bland.
Yeah, I knew. Big shocker. Let's get to it, huh?
And now can we just assume whatever he says is not necessarily bullshit or maliciously evil or consciously lying, but is erroneous or wrong? So this is why now we're 3 minutes into it. I got 30 minutes left to go. That's why I charge you so much, buddy.
Hey, I've got a great investment.
Holy shit! Prager, you don't at me like this. What the fuck? Jesus.
He's gonna go through.
I don't think most university tuitions cost $100,000. I think they tend to range between, for 4 years, between 30 and 50,000. Am I off on that?
He's probably throwing in the living
I think that's
expenses.
correct. I think if you're looking for $100,000 tuition, you're probably looking for postgraduate education as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not the devil.
Oh.
I'm Mr. College.
Oh.
And I'm here to help you finance this wonderful opportunity.
We're going to be looking for signs of anti-intellectualism in this video.
Anti-intellectualism? What the fuck is that? Data, facts, reason, logic, anti-intellectualism? Oh, God, the words they come up with that mean nothing.
Notice, I critique colleges all the time. I really do. Like, trust me, okay? I really do. I'm not some snobby intellectual who thinks that, like, all academia is, like, gate-kept behind the tuition fee, all right? I'm not, by any means. However, it's very easy for criticisms of college to slip into criticisms of academia as a concept. And that's a problem, because academia and education are foundationally essential principles to modern liberal democracy. Keeping people educated and constantly raising that bar of education is one of the reasons why our society has functioned so well up to...
No, wait. Constantly raising it? Progressive credentialism? Hey, back in the day, you graduated from high school, you could get a job. Now you need a master's degree? That's not good. That's economic inefficiency. He is right. You do need to have an educated population. You do need to have, but that's what high school is for. That's what K through 12 is for. You used to be able to get a lot more education in those 12, K through 12. Yeah, 13 years, I guess, if you throw kindergarten in there. And now that academia, look, if academia is intellectually honest and it's efficient, like, hey, we're throwing you some money, solve this problem. Hey, we're trying to resolve this issue, solve it for us. Fine, yes, there's some progress. But education is not good unto itself, especially if it's on bullshit. I mean, he's talking a very idealistic situation, like academia. Yes, I suppose on paper you would like academia. But more education doesn't mean better.
This point. Let's roll through. Roll Tide.
I have a whole package of government loans and impressive sounding scholarships to make it all possible.
I get a kick out of how, you don't see this, but the character that they did in the Prager video looks exactly like the guy they're mocking, or he's mocking him. It's kind of funny.
Of course, you'll have to pay interest on the loans, which will double the cost over time. But that's a problem for future you, and need not concern us now. Do we have a deal?
Yes.
Of course we do. You want to succeed in life, don't you? How can you do that without a college degree? But that doesn't mean you can't have a good time. Are you a movie fan? We've got a degree for that. How about criminal justice? Be like one of the cool people on the TV detective show.
No, it's not that. It's why did my dad go to jail? Why is my brother in jail? That's when I used to teach the criminal justice. It's like, oh God, you're not going to become a cop. You're too fat.
And
I get where we're going here. We're going to be arguing against the superfluity of college degrees. Guys, do you want to know something interesting? There is actually, as of this moment, a higher demand for high-skill education, high-skill training. There is a higher demand for this than there ever has been in the history of the human race.
Well, I don't know about the human race, but yes, the labor market's pretty tight right now.
Never before has there been such a need on an economic, institutional, social level for people who are highly educated. This is one...
But in what? See, to my Romanian buddy, it's all what? You know, why? If the demand for educated was so terrible, then why are they clamoring for a bailout? Shouldn't they be like just being employed by the droves? It's all what you major in, guys. But you know this. You know this.
One of the reasons why America gets blown the fuck out in general education when compared to other European countries, China, what have you. The reason why, amongst other things, is because we don't invest in and take seriously educational institutions.
The $600 billion is higher education alone. I think it's another $500 billion for K through 12. Again, I have to check we invest a lot in education. It's probably more bang for the buck. You have shitty teachers, shitty parents, shitty kids. The Minneapolis public schools, great teachers, great kids, great schools. No, shitty teachers, shitty parents, raising shitty kids equals shitty schools. And you can spend all the money you want. You got bad teachers, bad kids, bad parents. You're not going to have anything. It's just going to be a bad education. But they misassociate. There's a thing called efficiency. For every dollar spent, what kind of rate of return do you get? What's the end product look like? That doesn't. We didn't invest enough. We didn't invest enough.
Which is exactly what PragerU is about to do right here. I can feel it. They've got the two. You do it in rules of three. Do you like movies? Criminal justice? What's coming up next? I'm ready.
And we offer a whole selection of minority and gender studies programs. Learn why you're a victim and deserve to be angry all the time.
But see, because he predicted a 3? He's so excited about himself.
I'm so fucking smart. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, for one, very, very small portion of people who go to college, gender studies and sociology and what have you. For two, these fields, I know they may trigger the conservative. I know it must be very upsetting.
No, they impoverish poor kids. They impoverish minorities. I've always called the hyphenated studies, African American studies, Chicano American studies. Those are Uncle Tom degrees. You're taught by people who are screwing you over, who claim to be like on your side or to help your particular gender or race, and they fucking take all your money and they give you a shitty degree in response.
To see people studying these things and learning terms.
He's got to defend himself.
White privilege. But these people have actually been essential in the foundations of civil institutions for the past century. Everything from law to marketing to advertising, everything.
Well, then maybe their starting salary should be higher. Look, okay, to the Romanian buddy. I'm not even going to try. In the United States, let's say the United States, we have 320 million people. Now, not all of them spend money because some of them are little kids. But through the daily, repetitive, individual choices and actions, we decide how to allocate our time. And it is converted into a medium of exchange called money. And it's a tool, but it's also a unit of measurement. And that is called demand or value. Like, how much of my time I'm going to spend on this? How much of my time is going to spend on that? And for example, the Star Wars movie, I think it made $1 billion. That's a $1 billion movie. That's a good movie. Why? Because we can compare to other movies in the past. And if adjusted for inflation, it's pretty far along, pretty far in the past. We say, oh, look at how much value that did. You can go ahead and a car, a very fancy car. This fancy car costs more than the crappy car Cappy drives because Cappy's a cheap bastard. That dollar and the numbers of them allow us to measure value. And when he can argue all he wants that a sociology degree has value, oh, we were vital to these institutions, and look, without them, no. Okay, maybe let's find 100 years ago, whatever, somebody did something, all right? It doesn't have value today, probably didn't have value back in the day, because if we look at starting salaries, that is this 320 million people, minus children, who are allocating their time saying, no, we don't want to spend that much money on a teacher because there's 1 million of you graduating every year, more than 1 million. We do want to spend it on a guy who can hit a home run regularly and consistently. We do want to spend it on a guy or a gal who programs computer games. That's called a wage. And he can argue till he's blue with words and theorems and fancy vocabulary. That's fine. He can go ahead and do it. It doesn't change reality. What society, through their own free will and their allocation of the time through dollars, determines what does and does not have value. It's the labor market. Starting salary, that's a critical data point. Well, I guess we're not going to talk about that. And for him to say this all has value, no, it doesn't. If this is so good, another problem I have, this degree has value. Oh, look at the historical, okay, it has value then. All right, what's its price? Can't put a price on education. Oh, it's valuable. You just can't put a price on it. Well, then why you charge $500 a credit? Why are you being asked to borrow $100,000 with living expenses or whatever? It would be one thing if your education was free or we had a certification system where it's like, yeah, you just study at the library online, you take these tests and we'll give you your degree. That'd be a great idea. But it's not. It's like, oh, if you want this degree, here's this huge motherfucking price tag that comes with it. And people like this guy, oh, you can't put a price on. Well, wait a minute. Hold it. It's kind of important now that it's $100,000 in 4 years. Even if it was free, it's 4 years of your life. That's an investment. Oh.
From civil service work to planning to psychiatry to doctoral work to ethics boards.
That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit.
Scientific institutions. All of these things require the work of people who studied social sciences, including...
No, it doesn't. It just requires people that... It doesn't require a 4-year degree or a doctorate. It requires intellectual men and women to sit down and come up. We came up with ethics beforehand. You come up with a code of conduct without some doctoral idiot coming out of college. Oh.
Those feared gender studies and African American studies degrees, you know? Again, this is...
The ones that once again impoverish blacks and women. Remember that. Oh, Aaron, you're such a racist son of a bitch. Did you just say black? You hate the black people? My God, what an asshole you are. Yes, I hate the black man. I sure do hate me the black men.
Common anti-intellectual criticisms of universities.
Okay, if you disagree with him, you're anti-intellectual. No, I'm trying to introduce numbers so people can allocate their time efficiently. You don't agree with this guy, you're anti-intellectual.
Rather than criticizing the substandard performance of our institutions, rather than criticizing them for being overpriced, for being scams, we criticize them for allowing people to pursue the degrees that they are interested in. That's a little bit fucked up.
No. They should not go into debt. Look, there's no jobs at the end of these degrees. They should be on. They are. You can educate yourself in these for free online on the internet with libraries and still have the same employment prospects after you get that education. So why would you invest your money and time? Look, let me explain something to the Romanian buddy. What I am saying doesn't help people's fifis. People's feelings are hurt. Their dreams are destroyed. But I am helping out more leftists, more minorities, male or I'm sorry, not male, women or minority races than this guy ever will. Because I'm telling them the truth. That degree is worthless. Go become an engineer. Go become a coder, a programmer, a doctor, somebody. Go into the military, something. Don't major in African American studies. If it's interesting to you, go online and study it. Take a book, take a podcast. I mean, I've learned a whole ton of world history listening to podcasts. Time Ghost, great podcast, by the way. But you're a fucking fool for dropping 4 years of your time. Even if you get a full ride scholarship, you have pissed away 4 years of your life on a bullshit degree that has no demand in the real world. None. He's saying to do it. I'm saying don't. You tell me what's going to help out any person, but since we just can't wait to protect our minorities and our women's, Mr. Affirmative Action over here, you tell me who's going to have more practical help in the real world preventing you from majoring in stupid shit.
I mean, if a person wants to spend money to learn about gender studies, I'm sorry. I thought I lived in fucking America.
Yeah, but then when are you going to get bailed out? How much you want to bet he wants a bailout? See, then it's not your money now, is it? It's the taxpayer. No connection. I know it's going to be this. Oh, God.
The good old US of A. There's red, white, and blue in my outfit right now. Right?
More red.
Right? We're good? We're repping it? I'm sorry. I thought we should have the freedom to do those things. If you think too many people are going into those fields, well, I'm sorry. The invisible hand.
But it's not, okay, it's not an invisible hand. So we got it. The government is now intervening in the student loan market. It is the student loan market. This is no longer free markets. It's being tainted. It's being influenced. Right? You could argue the stock market is not that way. Why? Because the government has intervened, albeit tangent, just a little bit, but it's still intervening where it's like, oh, we're going to give you tax incentives and tax write-offs. So you invest in a 401k or an IRA or a 403b. Words have meaning. This is not the invisible hand of the free market. There is no free market in the college system. It is heavily influenced by the government. And we can't, but I can't fight this. Okay, Aaron, you can't fight this ignorance. He might as well be saying bibbity boppity boppity boo. I don't know if you guys remember this. There was the European Space Agency. They were working with NASA, and the United States and Europe were trying to put some satellite around some planet, or maybe we were trying to land something. And just to show you how one small thing can render an entire philosophy or idea or entity or venture a failure or wrong, one calculation they failed to convert from metric to standard or standard to metric. I forget what it was. And that calculation put it out of orbit and it crashed into Mars. Whatever, it blew up. It didn't work. Right? If you're wrong on one thing, it's very possible you've made the whole thing wrong. And there's no reason to talk. There was no reason to even send that satellite into orbit. And if you're wrong on this, like this is not an opinion. This is not me even having an emotional opinion or thought or he's wrong. And now I gotta listen. And this is why I don't listen. This is why you don't bother with Marxists. This is just why you don't bother with. He's not even 30. I know. Oh, Aaron, he could. Yeah, you can, but it's really rare. My degree's not worth it. I'll contradict myself.
Really, though, a lot of people complain that too many people are going into these fields. I don't see how. I don't really think there's an empirical way of determining that.
Yes! Starting salaries! Oh, if there was only an empirical way. He studied sociology. Don't you have to study economics once in a while? If only there was a way to find out if a college degree was worth its while. Bail me out, by the way.
Now, there might be market shortages or surpluses that occur sometimes for people with varying fields of education. But all of these things are very tangential to the actual problems with college.
No, they're the most important thing because of the price tag you just put on it. Romanian dude, you understand why I charge you so much? First thing in the fucking morning. Oh, lady.
But they're essential if your actual goal is not to improve college as a concept, but rather to dismiss many people who go to college and study subjects you don't like.
How about we don't want people going into debt and ruining their lives? Is that a possible angle that Prager wanted? He assumes maliciousness on Prager University because Prager hurt his feelings. That's pretty much what it is. I hate to sound so basic. Prager hurt his feelings because he said his degree was worthless. Now, what's interesting is this guy, whatever his name is, he's doing very well on the internet. He's got some good views here. He makes some money. This is a profession. This is real. The free market is telling him, hey, do this. You're a good radio show host, is essentially. You're a good internet personality. But he's still got to defend. He's still got to defend his worthless fucking degree. At least even I had the intellectual honesty to say my degree was bullshit and worthless. It was completely a waste of time. But it showed I didn't have any ego investment in it. I didn't like, it's the greatest thing I've ever done. I'm like, well, it's the most laborious thing I have ever done, but it certainly doesn't have any value. Oh, God.
As effeminate, intellectual snobs who are divorced from the needs and realities of the common American.
No, my Romanian buddy, Prager is way more connected to this because they don't want people, their needs is to not be financially crippled for the rest of their life. This guy is still advocating that. I'm sure he advocates a bailout, which then increases inflation or debt, increases interest rates, but I'm not going to go into that other stuff.
If that was your goal, complaining incessantly about gender studies degrees would be an excellent idea.
What are you waiting for? Sign on the dotted line. Classes begin in the fall. Don't miss orientation, especially if you're male. You don't want to be parading your toxic masculinity around the campus. Definitely not cool.
Enjoy the projection. I went to some pretty lib-cucky campuses. I was never told that in my fucking life. Don't go to college, boys. You see, in orientation, they put sandwich boards over the necks of all the men, and the sandwich boards will say, potential rapist, and you have to wear it every single day for the first month your time there as a freshman if you are a man. Of course, you can get out of it by saying you identify as a woman, at which point they will remove the sandwich board and allow you to place it on someone else. Okay, all right, yeah, okay, sure. I mean, I've been to university. I know what it's like.
Sound crazy?
What's so funny? He just said, ha! I don't know what.
What's up, Charlie? Hey, guys.
Charlie.
Speaking of fucking fail sons, Charlie Kirk dropped out of college and started his TPUSA shit at 8.
So he's laughing at a guy who was smart enough to drop out of college, not go into debt, and make money? Dude, the goal is to, if you can make money without going to college, you just saved yourself 4 years of life and Lord knows how much in money. Again, to my Romanian buddy, I could be wrong, I haven't watched this guy enough. He really seems to value his degree, not what he does with it. I guess maybe this is a badge of honor, like that's the biggest thing is your education. Dude, I wish I didn't go to college. I wish like I became a mechanic or something like that. I wish, if Charlie Kirk dropped out of college and makes a lot of money, good for him. He saved a lot of time and money.
After receiving grant from his wealthy daddy and all of the fucking dark money conservatives who fund money into projects like this.
Oh, is he
hey, what's up, Charlie Kirk? Hey, tell me what's wrong with university.
If he is a trust fund baby, I will have to agree with the communist.
Apart from the fact that it was too hard for you.
I don't know why.
Oh, he made money. This is funny. A guy who's a sociology major mocking somebody who was smart enough to drop out of college because he had better economic opportunities, saying college is too hard for him. Meanwhile, he majored in sociology.
Millions of college students make that deal every year.
Damn.
Usually with their parents' encouragement and financial support.
Damn.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against going to college. I sincerely
Except when it's you doing it.
believe it can be a worthwhile pursuit under the right circumstances.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is actually really weird. After seeing his face shrunk in so many memes, his face looks too big for his head now. It's actually really
Listen to
weird.
this.
If you want to be a doctor or an architect, for example, it's obviously a necessity. But look through the typical college syllabus, and it's clear that most of the majors, not to mention classes, are a waste of time
Yep.
and money.
Yes.
I would love to see that demonstrated empirically.
Well, your starting. Don't have to go over starting salary. They are a waste of time. Even this guy had to take. I guarantee you, half his classes had nothing to do with what. Half my classes had nothing to do with. That was 20 odd years ago. I can't imagine what it is now. Demonstrated empirically. Does it have anything to do with your degree? Yes or no? I'm an accounting major. Half your classes have. I'm an engineer. Half your classes. I mean, maybe because he's in the social sciences, maybe everything esoterically, tangentially, amorphously could have something to do with it. I guess in his world, maybe. But for those of us that have like real jobs or real degrees, it's like, no, this has nothing to do with it.
I would love like a chart, for example, like, oh, here you can see 60% of courses are empirically a waste of time and money.
Yeah, they are.
It's anti-intellectualism, my friend.
No, it's not. What? To the Romanian buddy. What? He's never going to agree with me. I'm never going to agree with him. Here's what I want you to ask. If someone were to follow this guy's advice, or my advice, or Prager's advice, who's going to do better in the real world? Even if they're leftists, even if they major, who's going to do better? Who's going to be based in whose decision is going to be more anchored in the real world, and they're going to get a better return on their time? I'm not even necessarily talking financially, but like, oh, I invested in this socially, romantically, I hit the gym, whatever, and they're going to have a better life. Right? This guy is, hey, go to college, any degree is a good degree, don't worry about the grade, hey, wait for a bailout. There is no agency or control over your own life. It's yelling at the rest of the world for not rewarding you for what you want it to be, which I guess is the definition of a Marxist. You know, like, oh, there should be this utopianism. Like, okay, well, until that time.
Hey, yo, feel free to get a degree if you're going to be a doctor, an engineer, or something else that makes somebody bigger than you money. But, studying more about the world, pursuing your passions, increasing the general level of education in our society.
You could do it for free at the library.
Sounds a little bit like a libcuck SJW waste of time, to be honest. We should be very, very critical of anti-intellectualism, not just because it's a...
I think here's what he thinks is anti-intellectualism is where people start asking if there's a rate of return on their time, if there's an economic benefit, is it worth it to do this? No one is arguing against intellectualism or studying for the sake of studying. I think what people are arguing against is the $100,000 price tag that is associated with intellectualism, that intellectual as it may be, wisdom, knowledge, information, education, that has no market value. I think that's what it is we are charging a market price for something that has no market value. It might have intellectual value, studying African American study, I'm sure there's some intellectual value there, but no one's going to pay you for it because people want their fucking video games. They want a surgeon. They don't want somebody lecturing them about diversity or privilege or whatever else. And so when I can't believe it, I'm defending predominantly leftists. You don't need to go to college. Now that you pay a fucking price for something that doesn't have any value, you are fucked. And you can't, no one's stopping you from studying. Guarantee you can go to the library and get books on this and read and become an expert, and you don't have to spend a fucking penny. And you will still advance intellectualism, you will still advance, and you're coming out $100,000 ahead. I don't know why he insists on attaching a price tag to this. Why he insists on, is it you need the college experience? You need to go to these buildings? Is it masturbation? Like, I'm an intellectual, I'm in the building, I'm on the campus. Oh, look at these nice buildings. Is that it? You want to commute? Do you want to drive down? Do you want to pay for parking? You just want to download it from the internet, listen to you on your phone while you're working out and doing something else in life.
Hallmark of American conservatism, and I love to own the conservative cucks with facts over feels. But
he did the
also
exact
because
opposite.
America is like actually getting fucking cucked right now. Like, we're the richest country on earth.
No, we're not.
Don't you think it's a little bit embarrassing that our education so consistently underperforms compared to other countries? Don't you think it's a little bit embarrassing that our economy right now depends on the immigration of high-skilled labor from...
He's arguing. Do you see he's contradicting himself? We suck because we need imported engineers and doctorates and mathematicians and all these STEM things. But we want to major in touchy-feely bullshit. You can't have it both ways. We need to import these talented... Oh, you mean the STEM majors and the HB1 visa guys? Those guys? Because we're not importing poets. We're not importing sociology majors.
Places like India, China, and Europe. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I love all flavors. Bring them in here. But, you know, it would be nice if they came here because they wanted to come here and didn't come here because America is full of dumb fucks and we have a shortage of educated professionals. One of the reasons why? Because of people like this, who are more interested in critiquing the idea of education than they are fixing the institutions.
You don't see this, but he's saying he has it up where they're claiming that half these classes are worthless and not worth the time. Those classes have nothing to do with engineering. This is a standard tactic. The teachers, let's explain teachers in general, not all of them, but most of them. Your average education majors in education because they're lazy, they don't want to work, and they hate math. They immediately then hide behind the children saying, if you don't like the kids get it. Because you hate children, and you don't love the future, and like me, I'm a me. They use children as a shield. I think he's doing the same thing here, where he takes the general concept of education and says, if you're at all critical of education, or its rate of return, or whether it helps people or not, you hate all education, and you're an anti-intellectualist. I think that's what he's doing. Because on one side of the intellectual or the educational shield, he's like, look, we're such idiots because we got to import all of our engineers. Oh, but we can't, well, we need the sociology, it's the same. No, it's not. It is really not. Sociologists are not engineers. One produces something of value for a society, the other parasites off a society in general.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe he makes a good point soon.
So why do responsible adults who only want the best for their children and are usually cautious with their hard-earned money squander it on such a bad investment?
His face is so strange. Hey, just so you know, he says bad investment. All data I've ever seen in the subject indicates that college graduates make more on average than high school graduates.
Yeah, okay. When you include boomers. Do we have to go over that one? We're going back. If they're making so much money, why do they need a bailout? I don't know how we're going to...
By a significant amount. More than enough to compensate for the
student debt you need bailed out of?
So this idea that college is on average a bad investment is factually incorrect.
No, it's factually correct.
Why would they send their son or daughter to a school to learn to reject the values the parents, hold dear?
Wait, what? Reject the value the parents hold dear? Whoa! We kind of threw that one in from left field. What do you mean by that, Charlie Kirk?
On what planet does that make sense?
Oh, you're not going to explain it.
It doesn't. It's an old paradigm, and we need to break it before it breaks
hope
us.
People take it at your word?
How do we do that? Here are two solutions that would...
He was just going to throw that in there, huh? Just...
to solving the problem. 1, ask yourself if you really need to go to college.
So here's a personal...
All right. I'm going to predict he's going to defend why you have to go to college. I don't know why. Hey, Aaron, do you want to waste 4 years of your life and learn something that's worthless and not get you a job and put you in... I mean, that's really what it is. Or do you just want to go work?
Point. Right here. I did not know what my passions were until I had the opportunity to study some stuff in community college. I would recommend everyone at least go to community college.
I agree with
which is it's more affordable, you know.
Yes.
Usually, like a year's tuition is in the 3 or 4 digits rather than in the low 5s. I didn't really realize what my passions were, you know. Initially, I thought I was into science, like the hard sciences, you know. And I feel, you know, I still had like a passing interest in them. It was only after encountering a diverse range of people, of meeting new people, of making new friends, of speaking with professors and intelligentsia that
Yeah, but they're not in the real world, dude. When he gets older, he'll realize.
that I realized I had a passion for the social sciences.
It's not a... Everybody has a passion for the social sciences because you live in society. You don't make money that way.
And, you know, so.
And he's kicking a lot of ass. You know, remember, he's got all the answers. There's a high demand for it. That's why he's making money as a actually quite successful internet personality. And not sociology.
I mean, not to brag or anything, but with the education from my sociology degree, I am now, you know, I'd like to say holding down a respectable position in society. If you're a Zoomer, and an utterly unrespectable one if you are not. But
make money on the internet. Good. Go, by all means, go. But you're not changing the world. You're not saving anyone. Oh.
Hey, I'm happy with where I am, okay? And I got that knowledge from community college. Or at least I got my footing there. So this, ask yourself if you really need to go to college shit, fuck off. Let people take the time to explore themselves. Let people take the time to determine what they're interested in. You have no idea.
I'll save you money on top of community college. If you really want to go and find out, but you have to go to college, go to Western Governors University. You don't have to commute. It's online. It's accredited. ASU Online, same thing. I mean, ideally, if you're really young and you're in high school, why wait? Go grab some books and start reading and studying. You don't... The internet, you don't even have to read. I know I hate reading, but you could go online and search sociology. You could search history. They have documentaries and podcasts and speeches and seminars. All free.
Whether a person who may be on the lower income side could want to go to college to become a graphic media, you know, designer and end up doing cool work for the hot new video games all the fans of PragerU like to play. You have no idea if someone could go to college and end up discovering a passion for medicine that leads them down a career path. They end up saving lives.
But you don't have to spend money on tuition to do that. I mean, college, the lack of agency or individuality and choice, like, oh, you can't figure anything out on your own unless you go to unless you go to this physical campus to get that knowledge and exposure to ideas. You could never find that anywhere else, especially now with the internet era.
You have no idea if somebody ends up going to college, never really makes much money off what they learn, but nonetheless values the experience and is really happy they...
Then why does the taxpayer have to pay for it? This is the book I got coming out, talks about college as a luxury good. It's a consumer good. It's not an investment. And that, I think that's really what this is they want to view it as some kind of like college experience, some kind of entitlement, a birthright, like a wedding. You know, it's my day. This is my time to shine. This is the best days of my life. It's like, if that's God almighty, but don't have the fucking taxpayer pay for it.
Went there. You don't know. So you shouldn't be telling people not to go to college. What you should be telling people is that the system needs reform, it's too expensive, and to vote for Bernie Sanders. That's what you should be telling people. Charlie Kirk.
Most of us go to college because it's simply expected that we do so.
There you go.
Our parents expect it. Our friends expect it.
Damn.
Plus,
Peer
it sounds
pressure.
like fun. A rite of passage. An escape from mom and dad and all their rules.
Yeah,
But
that is
none
true.
of that actually has...
Holy shit. shit, his face is so fucked up. Bale's son, who dropped out of college and has made money running a program that has been kept alive by his wealthy parents and their benefactors. He has never worked a day in his life, and he has not earned a degree. So, hey, listen. I'm here for the working man, folks. Nothing wrong with not having a degree, okay? Maybe something a little bit wrong with being a rich Bale's son who drops out and then tells other people not to go to college because they're wasting their time.
What's wrong with that? Nothing. According to a Georgetown University study, there are 30 million jobs paying over $55,000 a year that don't require a college degree.
I would be, for one, that's less than 1/10 of the population. For two,
What's the labor force? That's our little children. 3-year-olds don't work.
I would be willing to bet that
Retired people don't work. They're retired.
a lot of these are construction jobs or sewage jobs or other very demanding.
We wouldn't want to hurt our little precious fingies, would we? You mean manual labor? If you guys look at him, you'll see he's not exactly pulling lines up the telephone poles.
Highly, physically oriented labor. Not all of them, of course, but I'd be willing to bet that's a big chunk of them.
Yeah.
And pardon me for busting out my, my libcuck, my sociology degree, but I'd be willing to bet that a lot of these fields aren't that accessible to women either, both socially and physically.
Some jobs are labor, yes. You have to maintain a physique to do them. Yeah,
Highly demanding, field work, oil rigs, construct.
I got a gal. You guys all know Jessie. Jessie works on an oil rig. She's a mechanic. They can do it.
These things, and I don't think that means that there would be an even distribution of these jobs across the people.
Women choose not to work in. You can go work in the oil field anytime, ladies.
Be functioning.
Learn a skill like welding or plumbing or
You dumb welders and plumbers.
dozen other trades.
This guy's relying. If he's slamming on the trades, that's all you need to know.
Hey, guys, really quickly, one of the ways in which America has stayed on top of the rest of the world economically, even in this era, is because we are evolving with the times and recognizing that service work and tech jobs are becoming more proportionately important. This idea that everyone can just make a living with fucking plumbing and electricity is fucking ludicrous.
Well, not everyone, but you can. I guarantee a plumber makes more than this guy.
It's the same meme as everyone telling the new kid to go into engineering or to become a lawyer because there's good money in those fields, and now those fields.
Well, okay, Romanian guy. He hasn't studied. There is no money in law anymore.
Fields are heavily oversaturated. This will never be the fucking solution. The solution to economic inequality will never be that there's just this one set of professions out there that everyone could just jump into and start making $50,000 a year. This is a fucking fantasy. Anyone who's thought about this for more than...
Okay, I don't know if you know this, but economies change over time. And in the oil boom, you can make a lot of money as an oil hand. Now you can't because the price of oil has gone down. The economy changes. Back a long time ago, you could make money as a horse farrier. I think that's the name where you put horseshoes on. And this guy called Henry Ford came along, did not invent the automobile, but invented the assembly line and made cars more affordable. And then the demand for horse farriers went down, and then demand for auto mechanics and auto manufacturers went up. He's looking for this permanent solution that just doesn't exist. Technology changes, demands for different types of labor change, and right now there's a shortage of tradesmen. You could go work at the trade. You may not make $100,000, but go in with the union, go get your apprenticeship done, and you can make a livable wage. This community college boy here, I'm sure he has all the answers. None of them are going to help the people that listen to him. Mine is well, for now, yes, go become a plumber, go become a welder. There's nothing wrong. I don't know why he's got such a hate boner for it.
30 seconds know this is true. You'll never be able to just say, oh, well, underemployment and people not being able to feed their family and pay their bills? Have they considered coding? Have they considered getting their welder's license?
I would say, have you considered not having kids you can't afford? But that's just me.
Have they considered becoming a plumber? This will never happen. This
Why won't it happen?
will never happen. Maybe for a few people it will. We're not talking about a few people. We're talking about millions of people, dozens of millions of people. According to the number of people that are currently underemployed in the United States of America, maybe around 100 million people.
That's damn well near like I'd have to look at the numbers. 2/3 of people are underemployed. Here's a philosophical question for the Romanian. Is there such a thing as underemployment? Well, the economy is what it is. And if you have a doctorate in literature, but you're working as a bartender, are you really underemployed? You know? Let's say there's a really bad economy, really bad recession. You have your degree in engineering, but you're still working as a bartender. Well, are you really underemployed? You could argue you are. Well, I have a degree in engineering. But the economic opportunity is not there. The idealism that, look, talk to your dad. I mean, he must remember the communists. He must have been there. This idealism, it's cute, it's fanciful. I know why this guy's very popular, because he tells people what they want to hear. But if you want to, especially given the price tag, that's what this entire video is about. If you want to be paying this much of your life and money on a college degree, you got to ask, is it worth it? And it's not. It's just, we don't have time to argue about what is ideal. He is not making fun of. He is saying that the trades is not a viable opportunity. It is for some. You want to learn to cook? It is. The labor market is telling you right now, with high wages, high salaries, that there is a shortage in that field. It's not going to last forever. I mean, heck, 20 years ago, you could work in finance. Now, that's all automated away. 20 years ago, there was no social media. Now, they need a ton of software engineers for it. I don't know if he naively thinks the economy is that static or what, but you got to move with the times. You got to go where the work is.
Bull. You want that many plumbers?
And you'll never be looking for a job. The jobs will be looking for you.
Again, this is just boomer talk. This is again
true.
coming from someone who's never worked a real job in his life. Charlie Kirk. This is just shit that boomers tell you. This is the exact same shit as them being like, well, you've got a minimum wage job. Why can't you afford to go to college? It's the exact same, like, completely divorced from reality. True a year or more. Now it's 6 figures. What the fuck are they talking? This is complete fantasy. This is why you should never take fucking advice on college from someone like Charlie fucking Kirk, someone who's never worked a day in his life. Because this is the kind of shit you're gonna, oh, well, if you get your plumber's license, actually, you'll basically be, a 1%er. Okay.
No, consider the military.
Military's
learn
good.
Essential skills, and again, no debt. Or go into sales.
You should not have to join the fucking military to be able to live a middle-class lifestyle in the richest country on earth.
Lives in should land.
You don't need a sociology degree for that.
Hey. It helps.
No, it doesn't.
Mean.
Here's a guy with a sociology degree not working in sociology.
Have a goal and a plan to achieve it. Your college journey will cost you and or your parents a boatload of money.
It doesn't have to be that way. It's because there's an elite group of financiers and administrators at the top of the school boards who are siphoning money off of the process.
Well, then, why did you say that he just told us the teachers weren't making the money. Now they are? I'm agreeing with him there. So would he be willing to get rid of the diversity directors and the women's studies department and all that? That fat that can be trimmed out of it.
That's why the tuition costs keep increasing, but the schools are deteriorating and the class sizes are getting bigger. Why do you think it's getting more and more expensive? It doesn't have to be that way, guys. We can change the system.
Good luck. Yeah. Vote Trump. I wonder if Bernie will flood the market with more money and then tuition will go up.
What are you going to get in return? Choose your courses with a practical mindset. Stay away from the silly stuff.
The silly stuff like sociology, gender studies, racial studies.
Yes, the silly
challenged
stuff.
by these degrees. usually progressives who get into those fields, and it tends to be leftists who come out of them, or at least very progressive people. There are reasons for that. Conservatives say that it's leftist intelligentsia that have infiltrated higher education and are brainwashing your kids. I think that Charlie Kirk alluded to that.
Okay.
And if you really don't know why you're going to college, consider answer 2. Delay college for a year or longer.
This I don't necessarily think is a bad idea.
Wow. Okay.
If you feel, it's valid.
If more graduating high school seniors would do this, not jump into college immediately after high school, college curriculums would improve, and nonsense like safe space would disappear.
How? What is the relationship between these things? I guess because he's part of TPUSA, he has to throw in the bit. I have no idea what the relationship is between these things. You see, if you took a gap year, sociology and gender studies would be removed from the curriculum, and safe spaces will be, wait, what? Oh, by the way, in case you guys are curious, you know what safe spaces actually are? Conservatives imagine safe spaces. They imagine seen some at conventions too. You know what they are? They're usually just a break room in the back where you have a reasonable...
Don't care what a safe space is.
Guys, you know how boomers are all like, once you get your first paycheck, you'll drop socialism.
Hang on. What's a boomer now? What's a boomer? Because it looks like this Kirk guy he looks like he's late 20s, baby. Boomer, there's a range. I mean, you got to have gray hair, I think. And even I am not a boomer. Everything's a boomer. If you do a boomer. Oh.
This is literally that. This is boomer speak. This is, once you've been exposed to the real world, silly things like liberal arts will fall to the wayside. It's boomer speak. Guys, Charlie Kirk is an honorary boomer.
Let me guess. You can say Charlie again is a rich kid who came from... If that's all he's got, okay, here I am. I'm not a rich kid. I earned every penny in my life. I didn't come, and I will agree mostly with what Charlie has said, at least on the key things. Just because he comes from wealth doesn't mean he's wrong.
You have to be on the lookout, okay? Listen, delete boomer messages, block boomer accounts.
I'm no fan of the boomers, as you guys know. The boomers do have one thing over Zoomers and millennials and Xers, and that is they're older, they have wisdom. It's why is everyone moving to Florida? They don't know, man. Fuck Florida. That's where all the old people is 50 years later. We're moving to Florida.
Report boomer posts. We have to be on the lookout for boomer infiltration, okay? These people are a threat to our way of life, all right?
What way of life? What way of life? Are you requiring the boomers to bail you out? I will admit in all this. Now, the book coming up, I eviscerate the boomers. I just totally destroy them. Because he is writing some policies. And it is the boomers. But are you now completely dependent? One, didn't you listen to the boomers in academia tell you this shit? Are you the boomers told you to go, but then now blame the other boomers. Who didn't do what the boomers who lied to us and took our money at $500 of credit? Those rat bastards that didn't do anything to us. These boomers took $500 of credit. They're our buddies. They know, but these rat bastards over here, they need to bail us out. Because these boomers told us what we wanted to hear. Those boomers are telling us we need to get jobs. Fuck those guys.
Get a job. Any job for a year before starting college.
Also, I know that, again, Charlie Kirk has never worked a day in his life, but
whatever you do for a year will almost certainly change your attitude about a lot of things.
What is this Arbeitsmarktfrei shit? After you've been forced through 1 year of menial peasant slave wage labor, you'll be a lot more happy about your place in society, bucko. What the fuck am I looking at?
Like how hard it is to earn $1 and how easy it is for the government to take that dollar away.
Yeah, exactly. Boomer fucking me.
Well, it is true. The government takes 40% of the money. I don't have time to figure it out, but is it not important that, out of $10, well, $3.80 is taken from by the government? Is that irrelevant? 38% of your time is taken away. Now, admittedly, you get some of that back in the form of roads and defense and all that, but 2/3 of that 38% basically goes to other people for welfare and their education and their health care and shit that's not you.
It's boomer memes. Once tax season first comes around, you'll go conservative right away, bucko. I form all of my political...
I've heard it before.
You'll be much more likely to be immune to the BS. Don't be a passive investor as a student or a parent. Your education is too expensive and too important.
I hate to say this, even though this comes from Prager University. It's not Prager, it's this Kirk guy. As much as the ponytail guy hates Kirk is of more value to everybody, leftist or not. Doesn't matter. To any young person, the person that's giving you the most accurate and helpful information and data is Kirk, not Vaush or Vaush or whatever. And right here, I got to pause. You can see Charlie. You can see this guy. Whatever, fine. I don't respect trust fund babies either. That guy is the one that's going to help you. Prager is right. Okay? And we're not talking about, do you want strawberry ice cream or chocolate ice cream? Oh, dang, I got the strawberry and I really would have liked the chocolate. We're talking about tens of thousands, potentially $100,000 of your money, well, not your money, other people's money, and certainly 4 years of your life on bullshit. And he's going to at least either prevent you, you're at least going to get some bang for your buck. You're not going to waste your time following Preppy Boy Floyd's advice, even though he's Preppy Boy. Ponytail wearing guy over here, I don't know what indoctrinated thinking he's gotten into. But his advice is not based in the real world. I've displayed that before. We did talk about starting salaries and all that and simple logic, and the fact that it's taken 34 minutes, oh God.
To be left to Mr. College. He might have your money. Don't give him your mind.
Damn, they even put him in the corner where I was, fucking calling me out.
I'm Charlie Kirk, founder and president of Turning Point USA for Prager University.
Why of all people would they choose him? Why of is that gender studies is a scam? It's all boomer memes. You can get it all from Facebook. I'd be willing to bet. I'd bet $1,000 that if I pinned that fucker down to conversation, they couldn't even tell me what gender studies. They couldn't even fucking do it.
It doesn't matter.
They couldn't even begin to list the actual fields in which things like gender studies are applicable. Listen, whatever the case is. Listen, my rambling aside. Okay, listen. Hey, listen up.
Long video.
Fucking listen. There are a lot of problems at university. It's not right for all people. It's really not.
Thankfully,
the reason why it's not right for all people is because you're all individuals. Some of you have different life circumstances. I don't know what's going on in your life. Maybe you really can't afford to go to college. Or maybe you have another thing nailed down or other opportunities you want to explore. All of those things are fine. If you decide you don't want to go to university, that's totally within your right. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Do it because it's in your interest.
No, look.
Don't do it because billionaire-funded fail sons are telling you that college and university is worthless and actually you can make $1 bajillion by just being a plumber anyway. Make your choice for the right reasons.
If it was free, which it is not, then you could do what you want. But since there's a huge cost, both in terms of time and money, you need to approach this as an investment. Okay? If you just want knowledge, libraries have existed, not since the dawn of time, but for millennia at least. You can go and get that, quote, education or knowledge for free. But if you're going to spend money, and a serious amount of money, and your time, especially your youth, it has to pay off. And if you do and you major in cocky, pock, and bullshit, don't ask the taxpayer to bail you out. Don't be a parasite, right? Don't be a hypocrite on, God, parasite's bad enough to be a hypocritical parasite on top of it. Jesus Christ. You know, to the client, to our Romanian buddy, whose advice is going to help you out more? What is based more on reality? I mean, this is just the propaganda and the lie. Oh yeah, everything you study is great and we have value unto ourselves. No, you do not have value unto yourself. Fucking 7 billion people on the planet. Humans do not have value unto themselves. They're the most common thing ever, except maybe bacteria and some ants or trees or something like that. But there's a lot of us.
Okay? That's it. That's it. Okay? It's a tough personal choice. I can't make it for you, okay? Do some fucking thinking on your own. Jesus Christ. Nice. You know, I didn't cough a single time that entire fucking take.
I wonder if he's got the same cough I got.
How genuinely asking what is gender study specifically studying?
All right, we don't have to worry about it. All right, there you go, buddy. Thanks for wasting my morning. I'm going to record it and upload it. We'll see you guys later. Doodles.